Oh, thank you, gentlemen. Well, you know what? In a world full of trends, sometimes only the classics will do, but not without a delectable twist. Now, you may have come across a classic beef Wellington, but Chef Thando, she is here to show us why a meatball Wellington is the next best thing served with a classic smoor. A smoorkie.
Listen.
I love a good smoorkie.
It does everything and puts all the dishes together, and I love it because it's 2 ingredients, like super simple, 2 ingredients, and it always comes together perfectly.
And it's a household classic. I grew up with smoorkies, and whenever there was boerewors or any mince or red meat involved, a smoorkie just goes with it so well.
It does what needs to be done to the whole dish.
Okay, so you've added some of our CLOVER
classic spread, and then we're gonna let that melt off. Then we're gonna add our canned tomatoes. There we go. And our onions, and then we're just gonna let that simmer.
Okay, so you don't add the onions first and let that brown a little bit. You kind of...
I mean, you can. You can saute those and have that simmer nice and slow, and they'll all cook evenly. You know, the longer you cook it, the more like soft. It gets nice and soft, and all those flavors come together, so it all works out.
Okay.
And then in the meantime, you're gonna get started. So I'm gonna need you to cut these into 6 squares.
Okay.
Right? And then I'm gonna mix the mince together. So we're going in with breadcrumbs, onions, some fresh parsley, and spices. And what you're gonna do is put this into balls, roll it into balls, and then roast it off in the oven. And then once you're done with that, oh, that's not coming out. And then roast it off in the oven for about 10 minutes, just until the meatballs are not completely raw. And then you're gonna put them in the pastry and then roll that up. So it's like meatballs meets pasta meets pie meets...
It's a meatball meets pie. So we're doing a classic meatball Wellington with smoor, but it's technically a meatball meets a pie.
Meets a pie, yeah. And you can use your hands for this process, but I'm trying to stay cute.
You're trying to stay cute? Well, while you use the spatula, of course, we touched on using our CLOVER Classic fat spread earlier. It is versatile to use as a spread, to bake, or even cooking. You can basically use it the way you want. And I believe we have some melted egg over here.
Yes. So
we brush that at the end.
At the end. So what you're going to do, so once you've mixed your meatballs together, roll them up, put them in the oven. And this is what you get.
Okay.
So you're going to take a meatball, put it in 1 square, then roll that up, pinch it all together. So roll the corners together, there we go.
You're gonna do like a little...
Literally. Then pinch it together. Then you can use your knife to cut off any excess pastry if you have.
Okay.
But that is perfect.
Oh, I know, I just mushed it in there, but okay, let's cut it off.
If it's a little too much. And then...
Okay, now I'm seeing some cheese over here. When do we add that?
Oh, girl.
We can make cheesy meatballs.
You can put some cheese on the top, or you can put some cheese inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to put some inside in the next one. So
in the next
give it
one,
a little bit of a brush.
A brush, and then we get started on the next one. A little bit of cheese, then the meatball as well.
Okay, so you can really play around.
You can play around with it, yeah.
And the smoorkie gets used at the end.
At the end, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to wrap it like a little baby blanket.
There you go. You've got the technique now.
Getting there. It's better than that mushy thing I did then, like I was wrapping a present.
We see your wrapping skills for the festive season. You're taking notes.
Yeah.
We know
I sometimes say my technique is messy, but it gets the job done.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
It doesn't matter how you got there.
Oh, well, Chef Thando, I love this classic twist that we've done here. Of course, we have this recipe available for you if you want to get your hands on making this meatball frikadel. I just called it a meatball frikadel, but it's a classic meatball Wellington with a smoor. We have that recipe available for you on our website, expressoshow.com. You can make a classic frikadel mixture for your Wellingtons and then serve it with a smoorkie the Mzansi way. Now, I'm going to head on over here because we've got some finished ones.
Yes.
And look, this one is beautifully cut open.
Tell me how it is.
I'm going to just cut a teeny tiny TV bite size so that I can get the smoorkie. Oh, there's a nice crunch to the pastry. See, this was so beautifully presented, and then I come.
It's okay. Food is meant to be eaten, not looked at.
Oh.
And?
That smoorkie is a good classic. And it complements our Wellington meatball so well.
Yeah.
Well done, Chef Thando. This is really, really delicious. Well, the recipe is available on our website, expressoshow.com.
So, we've had classic fashion from Timby, classic cars, thanks Chad, and we've seen classic hairstyles. And you, Michael? Classic!
The classic range from Clover. Timeless taste.
Made with love by Clover.